Hey guys, Avery here with Skip's Tactical Solutions, and we have another episode of Talk to Me Thursday. As you guys come on, please let me know where you are joining from. How is everyone's week going so far? It's almost Friday. Hi David, thank you for joining from Georgia. Roland 1221 said, when are you coming to Raleigh? If you can get a group together, I will absolutely travel. A1 Sutton, how are you? Strong Island super fan, hey, how are you? Let's see. Bluesman, hey, how are you? For those individuals joining on Facebook, make sure that you share the live video and comment shared, because you will be entered to win a free Skip's Tactical Solutions t-shirt or tank. And here in a couple minutes, I will be sharing the winner for this week. Tony Two Pistols, nothing. Thank you for joining. Let's see, A1 Sutton, hey, how are you? I don't know how to say your name. MEJ 2400, hey, how are you? Black man with a gun. Hey, black man with a gun, are you gonna join on Instagram or Facebook? Tony Two Pistols, I'm so ready for the weekend too. Simply Stephanie, hey, how are you? Marino, hey, how are you? Jeremy Burns, thank you so much. Okay, so black man with a gun, make sure that you request to be in my video. So if you have to request to be in the video, you may have to back out and come back in, and then it will tell you, it'll be a spot for you to request to come into the video. Still standing, hello, how are you? Chubby Rob, guess what? My weekend starts tomorrow. On Facebook, Mr. Elliott, hello, how are you? And Mr. Josiah Davis, hey, how are you? All right, so for those of you who are on Facebook, tonight we will be just live, me and you. And then the individuals who are on Instagram will see me and Kenn Blanchard with Black Man with a Gun. So we're just going to do it a little different tonight. But you guys feel free to head on over to Instagram and watch the Instagram live. But you guys will still be able to hear what's going on. Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm doing good. Trying to get this thing to work like it's supposed to. Hey, there it goes. How's the audio?
I can hear you well. So for those of you who are on Facebook, can you hear Ken? I know you can't see him, but can you hear him? And for those of you who are on Instagram, tell Ken hi or show him some love.
Please, please, please. I like actually the way the video looks here on IG better than Facebook.
But so the replay, the video quality is not good on Instagram.
Okay.
So once the video is over, I will upload it so that people can go back and see it. So go back and look at it because it's not good quality. So they're showing you some love. Kenn, I don't know if you can see it.
I can.
Okay.
Hey, Green 0003, Jeremy Burns. That's cool, man. I mean, that's really, really cool. Trench work is back. We got to do this always here. Got some folks from the Zulu Shooters Club, too. That's all right.
Hey, Trenchwork. Thanks for joining. So, Kenn is on Instagram. So, if you can share it whenever you get a chance on your Facebook so that your Facebook peeps can see it. How's your day? How's your day?
Today was good. Today was good. I got no complaints whatsoever. I was waiting for the sun to come up. It didn't come out till time was time to go home, but that was okay. It's cold up here. I'm chilly. I had to come downstairs and put on a turtleneck from like back in the day. I don't think you guys even know what a turtleneck looks like nowadays, but it is cold.
Now the turtlenecks are like looser.
Cold. It's chilly. What the heck?
So today, I think we got up to like 70, 75 or so. It was pretty nice here today. I'm trying to channel my summer thoughts, my spring thoughts.
That works. I can deal with that. Yeah, I got tilt, man. Tilt lives around here. There's it's supposed to snow Monday, I think. So who knows? I got to go to the range. It's probably Sunday or Monday. Time to get some practice in before I got to qualify for my day job right now. I'm working armed security as a security officer, and once a year we have to shoot. I'm kind of looking forward to using somebody else's bullets.
I know, right? So someone said that the video is really choppy on Instagram. For those of you guys who are on Instagram, if you cannot, if it's cutting out, you can always head over to Facebook because the video quality is a tad bit better on Facebook. But it's up to you guys. But so really quick, every week I shout out one of you guys for sharing the live video and just pretty much supporting the movement, right? And this week's winner is Joy Duran. So Joy Duran on Facebook, please send me a private message and send me, go to my website and let me know which shirt you would like, what size you would like, and your address so I can get it shipped out to you. So every single week I do that. I really appreciate every single person that supports me, and I want to support you guys. So make sure that you share the live video. If you're on Instagram, although you cannot really technically share it and win it because I can't really see if you shared it, but feel free to hit that arrow button and share it with one of your friends, family, and then if you want to go over to Facebook, you can go to the Facebook page and share the live video. So make sure that you do that because you could be next week's winner. Make sure that you comment, share it as well. All right, so last week was first time that me and Mr. Blanchard went live together. I really enjoyed it, and it sounded like a lot of you guys enjoyed it. So we appreciate you guys joining us again tonight, and let us know how you like it. Maybe we can make this like a thing.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
We didn't get a lot of questions. We only got a couple questions. There were a couple of questions from last week, but we decided that we were going to talk about another topic tonight as well. So, Kenn, would you like to let them know the topic that we're going to talk about?
Instructors. Sometimes we kind of put training to the side. I want to actually help you get close to getting there. And what makes a good instructor is my topic for today. Everybody has a shingle out there. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's a guru. But what, in your opinion, Miss Avery, is a good instructor?
So I think a good instructor is someone who can tailor their training style to the student. And I really feel like you really have to know how different individuals learn. And if you don't know how they learn, then how can you teach them? So what I want you guys to do tonight is hit us in the comments and let us know what you think makes a good instructor. And we're definitely going to talk about some of those things, but comment and let us know. And if you have questions about instructors, go ahead and comment that as well so that we can talk about that.
Yeah. Don't get caught up on, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Like I remember this one guy who didn't have a whole bunch of experience as an instructor, but he was a really good teacher. He was able to break down stuff that we learned in the academy. He was able to talk to different audiences. And I thought, wow, for a guy who just learned how to shoot maybe a couple of years ago, and now he's an instructor, he had a gift. And I used to poo-poo you if you didn't have, like 100 years of experience and you hadn't been battle tested and a whole bunch of stuff. But some of those guys suck as instructors. Some of those guys are not real conducive to listening. They don't see where a student needs to go. They just keep hammering because that's what they do. Every problem is a nail, so they just beat on it. And you can miss some stuff that way. And you can lose. Maybe one person out of the 12 that's on your firing line gets it. But you want all 12 to get it. You don't want to just win with one person.
I completely agree with that. And for those of you who have trained with me, my teaching style, I can pretty much tailor my teaching style. And so someone actually asked me that today about, what makes me a good instructor. And I really think a part of me being a good instructor is me being able to tailor my style to my student. So I told them, I taught special operators and their personality, you have to be pretty aggressive at times, right? Like Kenn just, some of them have big heads. So if anyone's watching, no, I'm not talking about you. You are my favorite. But some individuals are very hard to teach. And then you run across students who, I've had students who verbally tell me that they know more than me, and that's fine. But I really don't think that's something that you should ever voice, because regardless of how many years I have instructing, you can always learn from somebody. Like you can take good and you can take bad from someone. So it may be a certain thing that I say in my class and people really pick up on it, right? So you can take that and you can start teaching your students that way. But for me, I'm able to just tailor my style to my student. So my style is normally I'm very soft-spoken. I get the message across, but I can turn it up really quick. So if I have to go there and I have to be aggressive, I can be aggressive, but I don't, not everybody learns that way. But for me, I definitely feel like I can teach a lot of different people. Children, I know how to teach children as well, but I know how to teach grown men who go to war and kill bad guys.
One of the first things that made me blush was I was actually at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and I had a woman from the Bureau of Prisons who probably hadn't been around men for a while, and she was looking forward to it. So when she got to the range, she just let go that she was at the range, and she was making sure that I was helping her as much as possible, and I didn't catch on right away. I have never blushed so bad, but she was trying her best to influence me with everything else other than shooting. And it had to click on me like, okay, she's not here to learn, so let me switch instructors with her. And I had to just punt and grab another instructor. So I need you to switch places with me, and we're gonna make this thing all right. And I'll talk to you at lunch. I'll catch you after the range. We will get to what you're trying to do, but just wait right here. So
yeah.
Sometimes you got to know what's going on in people's heads. I've had times when the environment was too cold. We're actually shooting and warming ourselves up at a barrel, trying to keep warm, and that can mess up people's shooting. Some people can have a bad fit on the earmuffs, and the sound is taking them out, and you can't figure out why they're flinching. They know this stuff. Why are they all freaked out? Well, the sound is getting to them, and you might have to readjust the distance between their glasses is opening a space, or they're chewing gum. There's a whole bunch of little stuff that can happen if you don't pay attention. And you got to know your students, you got to know yourself, and you got to know what you're trying to do. And then you can't do that unless your head's on the right swivel.
And something else that I want to bring up, though, is equipment. So you need to make sure that you know your equipment as well, because if you don't know your equipment, you're going to be fidgeting, and your equipment may just be wrong. So for me, sometimes if I'm training students and they have on a helmet, they didn't properly fit their helmet. Now they're messing with their helmet. Then now their helmet's all the way down here and they can't see, and they're just like all over the place. So I ask for my students to make sure that they try on everything before we go to the firing line, because if you've ever taken my classes, I say this: once I get to the line, I'm all about business. It's not, hey, let's talk, let's do this. It's, hey, let's go ahead and accomplish what we came out here to accomplish. Because a lot of people, once they're shooting, they start to get tired. Maybe it's too hot, too cold, whatever it may be. But the elements I know at the range that we use, majority of the time, the mosquitoes are very bad in the summer. Like, it's to the point, like, it is horrible. So we get bit really bad, and yeah, it's just not a good environment, but that's what we have to use. So we just make sure that when we're out there, we hurry up and we get it done. So Chantel, if you're watching, go ahead and give a thumbs up about those bad bugs.
That's good training right there. Keep your mind focused on your front sight no matter what's going on. Just got an extra little stimuli going on there.
I know, like, it'll be like mosquitoes biting them, and I'm like, whatever you do not flag anyone. Keep your gun pointed down range. Like, let's just get this done and over with. Oh, sorry, I just went straight knife hand. So Ken, I don't know if you saw this question, but Trench Work asked, do you have to be an NRA member to be certified instructor by them? I'm pretty sure you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
So hopefully he's still on and he saw that. So Miss Stephanie said, adapting to your trainee's learning style is paramount, especially when teaching adults. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Tilt Down said, be patient. Bill said, you must always be teachable. Absolutely. What else? Also on Facebook, we have Mr. Elliott said, I'm currently working on getting my certification as an instructor, and I also feel that you have to be able to adapt to the person or persons that you're instructing as an instructor. I feel like I'm a student also because I'm learning from them as I'm instructing them. Absolutely. Every instructor is a student. We should still be learning on a daily basis.
Yeah, sometimes you'll find out that somebody on your line is really good at something that you don't know. So you kind of trade off. Like, I found out that there was a rifle shooter that this guy was smoking with an AR, and I was just so. Pistols were my thing back in the day. And once I figured that out, I was like, all right, when this thing flips, I'm going to be his student. So it's all good.
Yeah. So on Facebook, Patrick Corbett asked, SIG or HK?
Which HK?
He'll answer you. Patrick, I don't know if you heard him, but he said which AK.
Oh, HK, yeah. Which HK?
Sorry, HK. So do you want to answer any of the questions that we already had?
I don't see it. Let's see.
So a question that we had was, I think we'll talk about this one first. This question is from King Malcolm in Instagram, and he said, any advice or explain how to handle officers when getting pulled over as a black man with a concealed weapon?
Depending on where you live, know whether you have to declare that you have a firearm or not. Some states you don't. Every law enforcement officer that pulls you over is already thinking that you're armed, whether you have a concealed carry permit or not. The training that they've gone from the academy is to treat everybody as if they were armed. So the fear factor there already exists as soon as they pull you over. They're checking your license, they're checking, they're waiting everything to come back, depending on how fast they move from their car or whether they followed you and got the 411 on you. The best thing you can do is to alleviate all fear, all weirdness, that you're going to comply. All they're trying to figure out, a good cop, is that you're going to comply with what they ask you to do. So you want to cut the car off if possible. You want to cut your dome lights on. You don't want to be moving around. You want to wait to be asked to do stuff. there's a few moments where this pendulum is swinging and you have no control over anything, actually. And if you would just chill, you're going about your merry way. But if you get arrogant, if you have attitude, if you want to show how bad you are, it can end bad for you. So for a few moments, chill. Just let this joker talk. Let him tell you what he wants, and then comply, and then be on your merry way. Everybody's not out to get you, and you got to just try to make sure that you look like a good guy.
So I don't know about you guys, but I really loved his answer. So I need a thumbs up. I need some hearts. I need some something. I think that was a really good answer. But you have to know what's required in your state. And here recently, I've seen quite a few people telling other people, do not tell anyone that you have a gun. If you're getting that information and you're required by your state to do that, you are wrong. So do not always listen to what other people tell you, because you may be wrong.
Yeah, I want you to come home at the end of this thing, and I want you to tell me what happened. I've been on both sides. I had a buddy who, after I got out of the service, that when he pulled somebody over, here's a story that I still never can forget. I was out, and my best friend was at a light. He pulled this guy over, and this guy got out of the car, and he was as big as Shaq. If Shaq had anybody close to his size, it was this guy. He had to be maybe like an inch shorter than Shaq. And when I saw him, I thought, oh, my man, my buddy is only about 5'2". So he got out of the car, and I was at the stoplight. So I rolled down my window, and he got out of the car. He said, hey, man, are you okay? The guy says, yeah. He says, do you have any trouble with your knees? The guy goes, no. He says, I need you to get out of the car. So I thought, if anything's going to go sideways, it's right now. And this guy got out, and he was a giant, and he was standing there. And Phil said, I need you to go down on your knees and cross your legs for me, and put your hands behind your head. So the arrest thing was already going down. And I thought, he must already know that he's a bad guy. And this guy was complying. But it was the way that Phil went through it that impressed the mess out of me. I thought this was better than anything I've ever seen on camera, on television. And we didn't hear about it. I mean, this guy must have had a warrant, must have done something, because he was getting arrested. But this guy was at least 7'1.5". I mean, he was just a giant dude, and he was compliant. And the cop was talking to him like you're supposed to talk to people. Sometimes, well, most of the time, you know how many people get pulled over? Millions. And you don't hear stuff happening every day. So I know we get in social media and we dog the cops, but they're not all the enemy, y'all. I'm just telling you. They're not.
I absolutely agree with that. Really quick, let's go back to Patrick's question on Facebook. He said SIG or HK, and he was talking about pistols.
Yeah, but there's a couple of HKs that came out back in the 90s. I thought were junk. But then there's one. Remember that one? It was like the P7. You had to squeeze the grip for the safety disengage. I think it was like a P7 or something. It was like a striker fire. It had a fixed barrel. That thing was surgical. You could shoot the eye out of a bug with this thing. Only bad part was after like 2 mags, the gun was so hot you had to put it down. But most HKs are like watches. So I'd probably go with a SIG, unless I knew exactly which HK you're talking about. SIGs almost always are like that.
All right, so Patrick, you heard it straight from him. You said SIG. So really quick, if you're on Facebook, please go ahead and share the video with your tribe, and you just make sure that you comment shared. And when you do that, you will be entered to win a t-shirt next week.
Cool, y'all.
So 7 Mike, thank you for joining. I always want to just call you Big Mike, but 2A, thank you for joining. And Major O, thank you for joining. All right, so we're going to answer another question really quick. This question was for you. Wanda Knows on Instagram asks, do you plan to expand your business in other states?
Yeah, I'd go probably pretty much everywhere as soon as I get, the no. As soon as somebody wants to have me out there. What I'd like to do is actually do a world tour and actually just hang out with people from state to state and grab a couple of instructors, like grab Avery and grab Mike, and the three of us go around because they're ready for it. It will happen someday. Not quite sure when yet, but if you are interested in getting a class from the three of us or any one of us, contact me and I'll make sure it happens. I'll spend the time to figure it out, to see who can go where. Maybe it takes some planning for just about everything.
Yeah. So I know for me, definitely I am willing to travel, because another question that we got this week was any classes given in Georgia? Excuse me. So I'm located in Tampa, but I can travel to do classes. I just need to make sure that there's a group of individuals and I can travel to give a class. So that's pretty much anywhere. Yeah, that question was specific for Georgia, but we're down to travel anywhere just as long as you guys can get a group of people together. And I want to tell Mr. Elliott, thank you for sharing. Miss Tiffany, thank you for sharing. And my mom and dad are watching the video. So thank you guys for watching and for sharing the live video. On Instagram, we have Cream003 that said, my first time here, but I will let my sister know to join next time. Absolutely. Thank you for doing that. And you can actually hit the arrow down below and send the live to your sister.
Nice.
Last question that we already have, or do you want to save this question for a couple minutes from now?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this question is, what do you think that could be done to make legal gun ownership popular in the Black community?
It's kind of like growing a church. You have to start with a small group first. I really wish we were as together as people think. But if you can get 2 or 3 of us together to agree on something, start there. Take over a range one afternoon, one morning, get as many as you can, and just show up. Power is in the numbers. If you can get all your people in one time, start there, because you actually represent a family, and it won't happen overnight. You would think that after 400 years of the stuff that we've gone through, we would be a lot further than this, but we're not. So it starts today. It starts yesterday. It starts last week, and we're building on that now. So your kids' future will be different from ours. Just walk it slow and start with small groups. If you got a club, great. If you don't have a club, just get you and your buddy. 2 people, start off, and then 3 people. And just start it off real small. Maybe you have to do a Tupperware party at first. Everybody come over and show you guns off. Do a safe thing. And then from that piece, show what you know, and then go to the range. And just start there. Just start off small. Don't have to be incorporated and have a whole bunch of stuff. Just start off where you're at.
Yeah, I like that. We're gonna have to write that down, one person at a time. I know you guys probably hear me talk a lot about children. I'm very passionate about teaching children because they're our future, right? So for me, I'm definitely making strides on teaching young children. I want to teach from elementary school age to high school. And I really want to get into the high school age students, because this is when students are starting to make those bad decisions that will impact the rest of their life. You know, once you hit 17, 18, you can be tried as an adult and you're going to lose a lot of these rights. So I am not only teaching adults, but I'm very passionate on teaching children as well, because they need to know. And a lot of these people who may be older, they may be set in their ways. And some of these people who are older and set in their ways, they may be teaching the youth the wrong thing. So I don't want them learning that guns are bad. You know, I want them to respect the firearm, absolutely. But all guns are, first of all, guns are not bad. They're tools, you know. But there's bad people out here that are using them the wrong way. So if you have children, I really urge you to get them educated when it comes to firearms, because they're the future. They need to know how to protect themselves, and we will not always be there to protect them. So we need to teach them that.
Amen. Amen. I would really like to do some high school kids too, because if you could stop them in junior high or high school and know that the decisions that they make at that age can affect their whole life. Maybe you won't drink as much. Maybe you won't smoke as much. Maybe you will take your butt home, because one felony can jack you up for the rest of your life, and you can't be a gun owner. It's real easy to go down that path. And instead at a time in your life when you are hyped, you just think you are on top of the world. I know I did back when I was 17. That's when I joined the Marine Corps. I thought I was some stuff back then. And it took some things to happen to me before I remembered that, you ain't all that in a bag of chips. You got to slow your roll, homie. And if I had, and I did, that's what saved me. I had a whole bunch of brothers who told me to slow my roll. And I know that all these folks in the gun community, we are the best in our community. We are better than a lot of folks in our neighborhoods. The world doesn't know that, though, so it's up to us to actually do that. And if we could grab a younger person and take them to the range, we'd mess them up for life. We'll have them on the right path, and that's what you want. Sometimes you can't do your own family. You have to adopt somebody else's kid that they listen to, but it all starts with one.
So I want to give a really quick shout out to someone who's watching the live on Facebook, Mr. Josiah Davis. So he hired me to teach him and his entire family on handling firearms. And I don't want to misspeak, but I think it was probably 5 or 6 children. And that was one of the best experiences that I ever had. And I taught them how to safely handle guns. And, when I left, they were just talking about how they wanted to do it again. And now he talked about how they were probably going to, institute that into some family time whenever they needed to spend some time together or when there was downtime. So I really, really want to thank you for allowing me to do that, because that was like the highlight. And I always think back to that moment, because you stood up and you wanted to make sure that not only your boys, but your girls and your wife were also educated as well. And he has a son with autism, and I was able to help him handle a gun. And I don't really know a lot of people who would really take that time or say, oh, I'm not going to take that liability. But I really appreciate you being the man that you are and taking care of that for your family. And thank you for joining the live and sharing it.
That was good. That was really good.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for joining. Hey, Zach, thank you for joining. All right, so that was the last question for tonight. Did you want to touch on anything else as far as instructors?
No, I'm sure that folks, they got to see you. If you are anywhere in near Tampa, call on Miss Skip and check her out. Let her wow you so that you can be an advertisement for somebody that's doing the right thing. Also, I just want to thank you guys for being here. We are right now, this point in time, making a difference. I mean, who would have thought there was this many folks interested in the right to keep and bear arms? We didn't have social media like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So we are already further than we used to be. So now we just got to keep moving forward. Don't let this be like don't be only on cell phone. Don't only be on Instagram and Facebook. Let's actually meet. Let's plan on that. So let's hit a range together. Let's eat together, break some bread together. Let's help our families get a little bit better. It takes one to reach one. Let's do that.
Absolutely. So Stephanie said that you are Stephanie said Kenn is playing with filters. Yeah, so Kenn doesn't have a lot of Instagram experience. So I think he found the filters and he was playing. You should have kept the filters on there. So for me, I want to let you guys know a couple things that I have coming up. I have my next Intro to Pistol class on the 16th of February from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you, to find out information about all of my classes, you can always go to my website, which is skipstacticalsolutions.com. And then my next concealed carry class is the 2nd of March from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then after that, my next Intro to Pistol class is the 16th of March from 11 to 2. But I do want to let you know that you do not have to own a firearm to take any of my classes. If you do not own a firearm, I have rental firearms available and you can rent a firearm. And the nice thing about renting a firearm is you get to try different things. So you may own one brand, right? And you've been wanting to see what does the P365 shoots like, right? Like maybe I want to shoot it, but I haven't. So definitely, if you have not taken a class, I would like to suggest that you take a class. I'm not saying it has to be with me, but just kind of make a promise to yourself that you're going to take some sort of firearms education this year. It is very important, so I want you to make sure that you do it. If you are in the Tampa area, I want you, if you know of any at-risk youth or low-income families that need this in their life, please hit me up and let me know, because I'm trying to work with low-income and those teens or those children that are at that age where they need to be educated. So I'm saying on a free level, but I'm definitely, 2019, I will be doing free things for people who cannot afford my services, because not everybody can afford it, but everybody needs these types of services. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out and ask people. You don't know what you don't know, right? And don't be scared to reach out. Maybe if you shoot an email, they're going to respond. Maybe they won't respond. Maybe you shoot another email and then that time they respond. So it's really just shoot your shot, right? Shoot your shot. I have a lot of people who send me messages and they're like, oh, I never thought you were going to respond. I'm not too big for anyone. I'm actually very small, not only in size, but I'm here for you guys, and I may miss something. I do work full time, so sometimes I may miss a comment. I miss a lot of comments sometimes, but I may miss an email. I may miss a DM. If I don't get back to you within a few days, feel free to resend it. Feel free to remessage me, because I do get busy at times, but I want to communicate with you guys. Ask your questions. I will not tell you, and this, I did want to cover this, so I'm glad that I thought about it. I will not tell you guys about a law. What I will do is I will direct you to a website for your state or whatever it may be. But even if someone does tell you something, don't take their word for it. Because if you get stopped by the cops, you can't say, well, Skip over at Skip's Tactical Solutions told me blah, blah, blah. What I do is I will educate you, but I'm going to send you the resource to where you know where to find it, because you need to know how to find out all the things that apply to you. And if you have not taken a concealed class recently, and some people live in states where you don't have to. I don't think that's very smart. Even if you don't have to do something, you want to make sure that you get out there and you get smart, because when it comes to guns, gun crimes are taken very seriously, and you need to be educated on what you can and cannot do for your state and the states that you travel through.
Amen.
That was a quick soapbox.
It was a good soapbox.
So for everyone who is on here with us, I mean, that is phenomenal that we are able to get you guys to show up, to interact, and just look at some of the different people that are on here. So if you're not following Kenn or Black Man with a Gun podcast, so for those of you who this may be your first time joining, Kenn Blanchard has a podcast called Black Man with a Gun. He has over 600 episodes, and he has been within this gun community for over 20 years. So if you're not following him, go ahead, go over and give him a follow, because he's doing some amazing things in the community. And he has a lot of things that are already out there, but there's so much that we can still learn from him.
Yeah, thank you, Avery. Check out my new YouTube channel, blackmanwithagun.tv. Subscribe on iTunes or whatever the 1,000 casts there are for a podcast. And yeah, this week, episode 602, we're going to talk about revolvers, actually, going old school. And I think Mike's going to talk about what's Mike doing? How to clean your firearm, I believe, is his tip for this week. And we're doing a lot of back to the basics stuff this year. I'm going to make sure that I include, because I done gone full circle. I'm come back around now. And I'm going to make sure that I include all the new shooters, share all the little tips and tricks that I know. And luckily, I got some good people with me now, with Avery and with Michael. So we're going to do 60 minutes and have more than just my big face on here or my voice. You got other people contributing. It's all one family. And I'm going to try to do soul training. It's all about love and peace and soul, baby. That's how we going to roll in 2019.
We're going to do a little soul train line, too, when we all get together.
That's right. Absolutely.
And another thing that I want to put out there, you have a Patreon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Kenn has a Patreon. I'm thinking about starting a GoFundMe for some of the projects that I've received requests for. So I get a lot of requests for videos. Videos are very not only time consuming, but they require a lot of equipment. And like I've told you guys before, the only thing that I can say that I'm good at is teaching firearms. I'm not good at being on the camera. I'm not good at podcasts, but I'm trying. So for those things that you guys are asking for, I'm just thinking about starting a GoFundMe, because podcasts, all videos, those things are pretty expensive. So if you are willing to donate. I can promise you, every single person that you support, they're probably coming out of their own pocket if they are not sponsored by a company. So they are probably coming out of their own pocket. So just think about that for a second. A lot of people are doing a lot of great things, but sometimes they may need some extra funding. Just not speaking about myself. There's a lot of companies that are out there. People donate to the NRA. People donate to a lot of things, right? So think about those different things.
Amen on that one too. There's a whole bunch of independent people who are trying. I would love to be able to come out to Texas, to come out to Oklahoma, to come out to Detroit, to come out to Chicago, to come out to Philadelphia, to New York. But I don't really want to beg some of these gun companies. I already done that before. I've been around knowing that when you ask for something, then you owe somebody. I'd rather be supported by the people who I'm helping, so that I don't have to charge you $500 for a course. But we haven't got there yet, but we're getting close. We're getting closer than we ever have. So the power, again, is in the people. If you guys will believe, and the folks who are actually doing something for you, who actually have something to give, then we can make a difference. And you also got to have a filter on too, not just for the IG. You got to have a filter on for the BS, because there are some charlatans out here. There are some folks out here just trying to make a buck. So be careful, but do your due diligence. Don't follow your heart on this stuff. We can make it. We can do it. We're close. We're closer than we've ever been, ever in my 20-some years of doing this. I'm seeing some amazing people, and I'm watching the growth and the knowledge and the questions. You guys weren't even there in 1991 when I was out there sweating. So this is really, really cool.
I'm not going to say how old I was in 1991. So I want to address this question that just came up. I do want to shout out a few people really quick. If you are joining from Facebook, thank you for joining. Please share the live video. Richard, thank you for joining. Miss Robin, thank you for joining. Chris Hoodneck, thank you for joining. And my shirt should be here soon, and I can't wait to wear it. Ken, there is a question that I want to address really quick. And I would like for you to start it off. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, it keeps hiding from me. So Eric said, NRA, good or bad for Black people?
It's good, but it's not the do with all. I mean, you can't just click and forget it. You can't just give them $20, join, and accept them to do something. It's like joining Weight Watchers or any other organization. You get into what you put in it. They still have millions of people who donate thousands of dollars, and they act to those guys a little faster than they will somebody who just does their membership fee or the donation. It's a beast of an organization. We still need it, as jacked up as it is, as old as it is, as slow as it moves, because people are still scared of it. But it's not a negative. It's not a no, but it's not the end all either.
Ken, did you see that last question that just popped up?
I'm scrolling down. Not really. Is there a Black NRA? There's the National African American Gun Association, NAGA, out of Georgia. Started about 2 years, maybe. Or was it more than that? Maybe 4 years ago. Black History Month, and it's doing all right. It'll take a while to get to the strength that we need, but it's not bad. It's a good organization. It's made by good people. There's knuckleheads in every group. So unless you're a part of it, you can't. That's the thing. You got to join it to fix it. You can't throw a rock from the outside. You have to be a part of it to change it.
So, in regards to that question, I do want to say, I know sometimes people, they say, oh, are you a part of the NRA? I have joined I have joined the NRA, but I can't complain about it if I am not doing my due diligence. So you want them to speak on behalf of certain things or react to certain things, but we have to make sure that we're actually members. So if you say, I'm not going to become a member because I don't agree, then they're never going to hear what you have to say. If you don't agree, sometimes you just have to actually do your part and just have your voice be heard. Be a member, be more involved. And I mean, who knows? You can't really complain unless you actually put forth some effort.
Since it's a membership organization, how about if you joined this bad boy? How about if you became on the board of directors? You went through that whole process. Then you'd really be in the weeds. Then you could be the person who's talking for our community. And it just takes some work. It's just like trying to become a student president of your high school. Same politics, same stuff. Have everybody like you. Attend all the function. Everybody can see you. It's a popularity contest. Same stuff. But once you're there, then you can make a change. Got to do a little bit of politics in there. Don't know how good you are for politics, but it's all a part of this world. And as much as I don't like it, you have to do it.
Yeah, we definitely have to support these organizations that are fighting for our rights because if they don't, then we may possibly lose our rights. Mark, thank you for joining. This is Mark's first time for joining. Thank you for joining. Comment and let us know what you think. 504 Calvin, hey, how are you? Thank you for joining. HUD said strength and honor. Sorry, my comments are...
Actually see the part where 504 Calvin popped up here. So I'm feeling like I'm getting the hang of this thing.
Next thing you know, Ken is going to be on Facebook and Instagram Live with a whole bunch of filters. When you said filters, all I could think about was you with the sunglasses on just now with the filters. But when it comes...
I like that one.
When it comes to anything, make sure that you do your research. find out the pros and the cons, which outweighs the other, because a pro for me may be a con for you. So do your research and join something. Don't just be a bystander.
Yeah. When NAGA began, the NRA actually pulled them in to see what they were trying to do. They were probably worried about them just a little bit. And I'm happy that they're still kicking. Phil Smith is a really good guy. He's up against a lot. And not only is he up against other people and other organizations, but our own people. You know that everybody don't want you to succeed. So if you can, join NAGA.
Absolutely. LW1028. Hey, thank you for joining for the first time. How did you find out about our live? So if you are joining for the first time, we would love to know how you found out about the live. And yeah, so I just want to encourage you guys to support someone else. This isn't about you. Take yourself out of it. Encourage, support, whatever it is that you can do. And it is not always financially. It could be a share. It could be anything, because I know there are people that are on my Facebook Live right now who have never heard of me before, and the only reason why they're hearing of me is because of one of you that have shared the video. So I do appreciate that. Get out there and do your thing. We are so excited that you guys have joined. You guys have... Donnie Beachy, you said, I've been gone forever. Can I be a first time? This is her first time joining. It has been a while since she has joined any of the lives. Thank you for joining. But yeah, Ken, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
No, I'm just real happy that you're here, that they're here, that we're talking, and this is how things start. This is only like number 2 for me being online, so we're coming, we're going somewhere, and that's a good thing. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys in person somewhere. So make sure you connect. If there was I think I'm gonna have to get an email list to connect with this so that I can send you guys out notes so that we can connect and start maybe just talking. We can do this on the real phone too, so that we can plan something. I would love to have an event, have you guys come to the nation's capital. We got a lot of monuments and crap around here. We can actually do an African American tour, and then do some shooting. Actually, not too far outside of DC, and that would be monumental. Folks would go nuts if we filled the whole range up with black people from all over the country. Oh man, that would be a mess, but a good thing.
So I want to add to that. So I know a lot of the times people talk about, all right, let me just re-say that because I said that wrong. So I know some of the questions were geared towards black people. I want you to know that it is open to everyone. The things that we are saying, it's for everyone, and there's more minorities out there than black. So I want you guys to know that, we are absolutely for everyone, and that we want everyone to join our movement. Like, this is a movement. We are coming together. We are supporting each other. And if you don't support those that support you, then who are you going to support? And who's going to support them?
Yeah, I've had just because of the gun movement, I've changed. I remember the first time I was doing we got too much time for this story, but I've been with a whole bunch of different people, and I had to grow as a person. So anybody that would give you a firearm is family. Anybody trying to take one away from you is your enemy. Okay. That's the short version of this story.
So Patterson Ever After, thank you for joining. The Real Silverback Guns, thank you for joining. You guys were awesome tonight. It was really a lot of engagement going on. And
Positivity, man.
504 Calvin just said something that I would like to repeat. He said, definitely for everybody coming together, and pro-black doesn't mean anti-anything else. So if you didn't hear anything else this whole live, make sure that you listen to that. I missed this name. Let's see. The name is Gun Lord. First time watching. Oh, sorry. First time watching. Definitely glad I did, as I have been on the search for good organizations to support. Thank you for joining. Like I said, if you have not shared the video, if you're on Instagram, please hit the arrow, share it with someone. If you are on Facebook, share it for your chance to win a free shirt. And I would like to just remind Miss Joy Duran to send me a message, because she was the winner of the shirt from last week. And if you have not joined my email list, please go ahead and join my email list. If you're on Instagram, you can just hit the link in my bio, which will take you to my website, and you can join my email list. If you're on Facebook, the email list will be listed in the description shortly after the video, if it's not already in there. But you can still just go to the website and join the email list. And I want to remind you guys really quick why email lists are so important. All of this social media, blah, 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 can just go away one day. And if it goes away one day, how will you know how to contact those people that you really want to be in contact with? So if you only follow me on Instagram and you had no idea that I had a website, then how are you going to find me? Or the same goes for anyone else. So join my email list so you can be on the know when anything comes out or anything is going on. So join my email list, head over to Kenn's website, join whatever you can join with Kenn, and you're going to know all the things first. Like, you're going to be the cool kid because you're going to be on the email list. Go over a couple things. I have my podcast, which is Skip's Tactical Solutions. You can find that in your podcast player. If you don't have a podcast player, then you can find it in... Actually, it has its own website. It's in the bio as well. And then you can find me and Kenn. We just had a live podcast interview, and that's on my YouTube page. If you have not subscribed to me on YouTube, what are you waiting for? So go ahead, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. And like I said, I'll be working on my YouTube videos, so you guys can grow with me on YouTube just like you grew with me on Facebook and Instagram. My first videos that were like, oh my God, thank you guys for watching, because they were horrible. Not to say that they're good now, but they were really, really horrible back then. But I definitely appreciate you guys. There's my website, which is skipstacticalsolutions.com, and you can find out all things that are going on with me, all the products that I sell. Every product that's on there, I'm a dealer for, and I want to bring you guys all the brands that I trust and I use. So that's what that is. That is not my endorsements for any companies. There's no companies paying me to say anything, and there's no company that can cut me any sort of check to sell my soul. And just know, when it comes to Skip, I'm going to be genuine, and you guys are starting to see more of my personality, and you're starting to hear more of my lame mom jokes, but that comes with the package. And if you, once you're on YouTube, make sure you head over and subscribe to Black Man with a Gun TV, right? Make sure that you subscribe to Kenn's as well, and maybe we can do... we will be meeting up soon. So when we meet up in person, maybe we can do some videos. And subscribe to both of our podcasts. So Kenn inspired me to start my podcast, and go out there, find Black Man with a Gun, which is his podcast, and my podcast is Skip's Tactical Solutions. And when you listen to my podcast, if you leave a rating and a review, I will read them live on my podcast. So go ahead, do that. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Your support means the world to me. Every single comment, like, share, all those things. Kenn, do you have anything?
Just to make sure that you don't forget little old me. If you remember, send me an email at blackmanwithagun@gmail.com. Tell me that you listened tonight, and I'd appreciate hearing from you. blackmanwithagun@gmail.com. We do it just that easy. And until next time, shalom, baby.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe to my podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube. And make sure that you share the video. I will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in to Talk to Me Thursday.